In the vast Mattoquit Conservancy, a pregnant lioness was receiving special attention from the rangers. They had built a secure area with a protective fence to monitor her health daily. The mother lion was well fed and had a veterinarian on duty to prevent any unexpected birth complications. One sunny morning, she gave birth to a healthy, velvety golden cub. From that moment on, the mother and her cub were cared for attentively, gradually becoming familiar with the laughter and chatter of the people around them. Rangers Sarah Miller and James Bota regularly checked their health, provided food, and monitored their behavior. Over time, they developed a friendly relationship with the mother and cub, gaining their trust and cooperation. As the cub grew, it began to run, climb, and learn to roar. Once it was strong enough, the conservation team decided it was time for the mother and cub to return to their natural habitat in the conservancy. Before the move, James and Sarah carefully checked the mother and cub's blood pressure, breathing, and digestive status. When all indicators were stable, they gently placed them in a specialized transport cage. The pickup truck drove through the grasslands, bringing the lioness and her cub back into the wilds of Mattock. As they arrived, the cub's eyes widened in delight at the sight of the vast plains filled with herds of wildebeest. When the truck stopped, James opened the cage door, letting the mother lion step out first, then called the cub to follow. Sarah and James waved goodbye and turned to walk away, leaving nature to take its course. At first, the lion cub was clumsy, stumbling as it chased after lizards and squirrels. The mother lion patiently taught her cub how to stalk prey, hold its breath, and pounce at just the right moment. Their first successful hunt, a small rabbit, was a shared victory. A few days later, while drinking water at a dry lake, the cub came across a decomposing deer carcass. Curious and unaware of the danger, it ate some of the rotten meat. The mother lion roared in warning and tried to push her cub away, but it was too late. The cub had already swallowed a few bites. The next day, the cub grew lethargic, lying still in the grass with a swollen belly, groaning in pain. It couldn't stand or move, only rolling to one side in agony. The mother lion stayed close, sniffing her cub's belly, groaning uneasily. That night, she didn't leave its side, lying next to it as if to transmit warmth and comfort. By the second day, the cub was still not eating. Its belly looked shiny and bloated, and its breathing was shallow and rapid. The mother lion roared into the savannah, calling out in vain for help. Unknown to her, someone was listening. At the Mattock Operations Center, James noticed something unusual. The GPS signal of the mother and cub had been stationary for 2 days near the lake. Alarmed, Sarah called James. "I saw it too. Something must be wrong. We have to go now." They packed a medical bag, a portable ultrasound machine, and an emergency animal rescue kit, and rushed off in their vehicle, dust rising behind them. When they arrived, they saw the mother lion lying beside her cub, lifting her head with hope as she recognized the familiar humans. James stepped out first, raising his hand gently. The mother lion stood and backed away slightly, but kept a close eye on her cub. Sarah approached carefully, checking the cub's heart rate, breathing, and temperature. "Acute enteritis," she said, "probably from the rotten food." A few hours later, and it might have been too late. James disinfected and prepared a painkiller injection, while Sarah gently administered it into the cub's leg vein. The cub groaned, but seemed calmer when it recognized the familiar scent of its human friends. The two rangers exchanged a look of resolve. "We have to bring him to the center immediately." James called the medical team ahead to prepare for an emergency. They gently lifted the cub into the padded back of the car as the mother lion watched anxiously, but without resistance. "Don't worry," Sarah whispered to her. "I'll bring the baby back to you." The vehicle sped away, the cub lying quietly, but with a calmer expression than before. At the center, the veterinary team, led by Dr. Amanda, was ready. She quickly examined the cub using an ultrasound and determined that surgery was needed to wash the stomach and remove the contaminated food. Under the bright surgical lights, the cub was anesthetized, and Dr. Amanda carefully opened the abdomen, flushing out the infection and stitching the wound neatly. A few hours later, the lion cub slowly woke up, blinking at the people around it. Amanda smiled and said, "You're strong, little one. Now all you have to do is recover." The cub received fluids, antibiotics, and close monitoring. Its belly deflated, its breathing normalized, and the pain faded. James and Sarah visited, gently stroking the cub's head as it wagged its tail weakly in response. By the next day, its recovery signs were strong. With one final injection to boost immunity, the team prepared for its return. The truck once again rolled across the savannah, carrying hope. When they neared the old release site, they found the mother lion still waiting, her eyes searching the horizon. At the sound of the vehicle, she leaped up and ran toward it. Sarah opened the door, and the cub jumped down slowly, still sore from the surgery. The mother lion stepped forward, sniffed her cub carefully, then nuzzled it lovingly. They lay side by side again, heads touching beneath the golden sunset of the South African plains. James placed 2 portions of fresh meat nearby, a reunion feast. Both lions ate, while glancing up at their rescuers. Sarah knelt and stroked the cub one last time, then turned away. As the car drove off, the silhouettes of the mother and cub faded into the grassland. Their wild lives continued, now stronger and more bonded than ever. From then on, every time James and Sarah checked the GPS, they saw healthy, active movement across the map. Each morning brought a smile of relief, knowing they had made a difference. The story of the rescued lion cub spread throughout the Conservancy, tale of hope and determination in the heart of the wild. In Mataquo, life always has a chance, as long as there are people brave enough to protect it. And somewhere in the golden grass, a young roar now echoes, starting a new journey. Dear friend, thank you for taking the time to follow this story. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to support us.